Mission.
Congressman Tim Murphy is going to be facing a challenger in next spring's Republican primary. A young conservative who identifies with the Tea Party says that Murphy is too liberal. In a story seen only here on KDKA, political editor John Delano sat down with a man who is going to be taking Murphy on.
His name is hardly a household one yet, but Republican Evan Feinberg intends to make history next spring. His target, defeating longtime Congressman Tim Murphy in the April Republican primary.
Tim Murphy is an Arlen Specter Republican, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts to lose a primary that he may even switch parties.
Feinberg, a native of Peters Township, who has worked most recently for Tea Party icons, Senators Tom Coburn and Rand Paul, says Murphy is out of step with conservative fiscal values.
By all accounts, Tim Murphy is one of the top 10 most liberal Republicans in the United States House of Representatives.
What irks some conservatives is Murphy's votes with unions on some key issues.
Tim Murphy's bad on spending, and he continues to vote for more and more government, and he's bad on jobs, continues to vote against workers and with big labor unions over and over again, and that's where the key issues of the campaign are going to be.
Feinberg says Republican voters deserve an alternative to Murphy.
On and on, Representative Murphy continues to vote across the aisle with the Democrats on major pieces of legislation that hurt job creators here in Western Pennsylvania.
Feinberg, age 26, has recently returned home with his wife, an Iraqi war veteran, and their newborn son. And the young conservative says he will have the money to take on Murphy.
I'm going to have extensive local and national support for this candidacy, and I'm very excited about the prospects of the race.
Will you have the money to compete with him on television and throughout the district?
Yes, I will.
No question about it.
No question about it.
And he describes the choice succinctly.
Tim Murphy's the kind of politician that tries to figure out what the big moneyed interests in his district want him to do, puts his finger in the air and makes a decision based on that. My style is that I look to the United States Constitution. And I look to the United States Constitution and I say, what's the appropriate role for the federal government?
Now, the AFL-CIO does rank Murphy among its more supportive Republicans. In this Congress, of the 18 labor votes rated, Murphy voted 10 times with organized labor. A spokesman for Murphy had no comment on Feinberg, but said Murphy, quote, votes his district and always does what's best for the region, unquote. Feinberg will file papers with the Federal Election Commission next week. Live in the newsroom, I'm John Delano.